Chase your dream or build future financial security. I had just turned 24 when I lost my dad. One moment he's standing in the kitchen, a split second later his heart stopped functioning, causing him to collapse, lifeless on the floor. He was a wonderful father and he taught me a lot in my first 24 years of life, but from 24 onwards, I didn't have a father to call on for advice. So I figured it out the best I could by reading lots of books and asking friends for guidance. But I sure could have used a dad's advice, because adulthood is complicated, especially when you become a dad yourself. So in this video, I want to give you guys out there, and especially you young guys, some dad's advice on this subject. Should you chase your dreams or build future financial security? Because a lot of times these two concepts, chasing your dreams and building future financial security, can require radically different approaches to life.
I mean, America, you have such a mixed bag of people in the first place. So, you don't really expect people to sound a certain way.
Chasing your dream often calls for you to take huge risks, to put everything on the line, trade in your security for a shot at fulfilling your dreams. On the other hand, building future financial security often requires avoiding risky ventures and taking a calm, measured approach to life. The dream chasers declare, burn the boats, there's no going back. And those building future security will declare, take it slow and steady, Rome wasn't built in a day. Hi, I'm Dr. Wes, clinical psychologist and advocate for your well-being. I've seen the thrills and spills of both approaches to life. I've seen dream chasers go for it and win big and spend their latter years swimming in abundance. And I've also seen dream chasers having to move in with their adult kids because they spent all their money chasing dreams, leaving them no financial resources to sustain themselves in their twilight years. And those who focus solely on building future security, I've seen them get to the latter years of their life regretting not taking more chances, lamenting never taking a shot at being adventurous, always opting for the responsible pathway. They end up with one pocket full of money and the other pocket full of regret for not taking a chance on their dreams. So which approach to life do I recommend? Chasing your dreams or solidifying your future financial security? And as usual, it depends a lot on your personality and your family of origin history. But my recommendation is do both. It's not an either or proposition. It can be a both and. View this approach as running on two legs. One leg chases your dream and the other leg ensures your ability to keep running in the future. We need to run on both legs. Here's why. If we're constantly solidifying future security, our world becomes very small. That was very uncomfortable. By focusing exclusively on building security, we rarely challenge ourselves to do things that make us feel insecure. And there's no way to chase your dreams without triggering uncertainty and insecurity. On the other hand, if you are committed to the life philosophy, go big or go home, you might be tempted to go so big that you lose your home in the process. And as someone who counsels people through their tough times, I have seen people literally lose their home because they risked it all. My philosophy is go big, but not so big that a market misstep will put you and your kids out on the street. I'm particularly talking to men and fathers. Do not risk the roof that protects your wife and kids. I've counseled wives who live in fear that they'll be living in their car because their husband plays fast and loose with the equity in their family home. It's one thing chasing your dream as a single guy. My goodness, you can live in your car if you have to start all over again. But if you have a wife and more importantly kids, you have to run on both legs. Chase your dreams and build future financial security. You can do both at the same time. In fact, you must pursue both at the same time. Have a dream, a bold vision for your life. It will rescue you from living a small, contained, unadventurous life. At the same time, build your future financial security by building tangible, practical assets. And the first practical asset is your home. Now, for all you reflexive contrarians out there, those of you who would say, well, hang on, Dr. West, owning a home is not the best investment. Better to rent a home and invest your money into your business, side hustle, or stock market. And you could be right if all there was to life was making money. But there is more to life than money. When you are renting, you are at the mercy of a landlord who is under no obligation to take your family's needs into account. When your lease term is up, the landlord can tell you and your family to pack up your belongings and leave if they want the house back. And when you are older in life, having to pack up all your belongings and find another place to live becomes incredibly stressful, or at least super inconvenient. So be a good leader. Save your family from the difficulties of having to move because someone who is not a part of your family tells you to move. What other practical assets help you build future security? A storehouse of saved money. I counsel people in their 40s and 50s who have no storehouse of money to cover future needs. To be in the middle of life with no storehouse is dangerous because when you're in your 60s and 70s and definitely in your 80s, you will have less opportunity, less energy, and less capacity to absorb the hits and injuries of life. It's a somber scenario, seeing an elderly person working a job because they have to. Now, it's absolutely dignified to work as long as you want to. In fact, it can be good for mental health, even if you're in your 80s and 90s. I find it inspiring to see people in their 80s and 90s still providing expertise in the marketplace. But have the job because you want to work, not because you have to work because you're broke. Building a storehouse is super wise. It can save you from a world of hurt later on in your life. That's Dad's advice. Now let's focus on dream chasing. When I was 16, I attended a youth event in Singapore. At the event, I was given an opportunity to give a short talk. And though it was short, it unleashed a long-term vision in my mind to be a teacher. Someone who inspires others to learn. Are you just born with these? Did you just wake up one morning and whoa, look at that?
I was a string bean up until 25.
A string bean?
Yeah.
So what did you do? What prayer did you pray to get those guns? I did not know the specific pathway to earning a living from speaking, but I chased the dream. To say the least, the journey was a long road, interspersed with happiness and heartbreaks. A journey that required taking many risks. But all the way along this dream-driven road, I kept taking a portion of my earnings and setting it aside as a future security fund. Today, the Future Security Fund is, let's just say, solidly sufficient. So much so that it enables me to chase other dreams, go on adventures without risking my family's welfare. Well, so far, I am getting to know my way around this parking lot. In fact, when your family is secure, they are more able to trust you in taking more leaps of faith and pursuing new adventures. Now, a about my eternal security. I still depend on Jesus for that. In fact, Jesus gives me the wisdom not to lose my soul in the process of building solid earthly resources. So chase your dreams. Some will flourish, others will fizzle. But when you build up tangible resources along the way, the dreams that fizzle won't utterly destroy you and hurt your family. In summary, guys, and especially young guys, be a dream chaser and a security maker. You can have both. What are your thoughts about this? Let me know in the comments below. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy making life better with Dr. Wes, then you can help me make more content. How? Tap the subscribe button right now. Thanks. This could be good for you. I'm Dr. Wes. Here's to making life better.